64-bit legends. Welcome.
Legend of the game, like GoldenEye, I'm more than right.
Yeah.
The perfect dark is dreams that seem to come to life. 64-bit, the shit, it's as real as it
Yeah.
gets. We can talk sports, games, and music, take your pick. Point with the news, pull up and crack a brew. Smoke one with the crew, tune in and take a view.
Watch.
We here to raise the bar from the lowest mark. Sit your ass down and listen, it's time for the show to start.
Welcome to another episode of the 64-Bit Legends. I am Bobby Caboose, as always with Mel VIN. What's up, Melvin?
Oh, what's going on? Back in effect again.
Yeah, it's a little weird this time because it's just the two of us. I mean, we haven't had just us show in a few episodes.
Yeah, it's just the two of us.
So back to the basics.
Yep, back to humble beginnings.
Yeah, humble beginnings indeed. So today we got a couple different things we're going to be talking about.
Yeah. It was. I mean, we've kind of playing catch up a little bit on a few things that have been going on in our lives. As far because I know we've been talking a lot about sitcoms. We've been talking a lot about wrestling.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just got to get back in touch with yourself. Sometimes really dive into your insides.
Yeah.
Squirm around in there.
I mean, there's got to be something in there.
Yeah.
We're not all the Tin Man with no heart, right? The Tin Man needed a heart.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few times. I mean, it got to a point where it was a few times I know this week where it was like, I wanted to tell you about something. I was like, you know what? No, wait, let's save this.
Right.
We could use this. I could tell this story to everybody all at once. So this is going to be first time for both of us to hear about whatever we each have to say.
So it's going to be a little bit on the fly, but a little bit planned. So a little bit of chaos.
Yeah.
But a little bit organized.
Controlled chaos.
Yeah.
That's the best way to have it.
It's like having good police.
Yes, good police. Yes, like McNulty.
Yep. I mean, I was just, I forgot that we had the 24-hour Wire channel,
Yeah.
So, The Wire, the TV show I'm talking about. And so every time I put it on, I mean, the show is so good. I watch like 3 or 4 episodes, but it's always a different season and it's never in order. So, I mean, it's in order from when I start watching it, but as far as like, it's a random season every time I put it on.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty. I do kind of like that idea. If you get a good enough show, that you can just, jump into the middle of it anywhere. I mean, The Wire is a good example of that. I mean, sitcoms are obviously good for that as well. But as far as dramas, you don't get too many that you can actually just jump in the middle. I think The Wire, The Sopranos, I want to say maybe Breaking Bad, but I'll be honest, I think that the appeal of that show is more so just the suspense of what's going to happen next time and what's going to happen next time. So I don't know.
It ends probably on cliffhangers all the time.
Oh, it's a constant cliffhanger. Like
So.
you're in the middle of the episode and you're still on the edge of your seat. You're like, how are they going to figure this out? You can rewatch it just where you kind of know. You ever rewatch a show and you kind of know how they got there, but you don't know?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, so it's like that where you're just like, wait, I know it's going to work out, but how did they get out of this jam?
But the cool thing about that is you can kind of make up your own beginning.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I think this happened, and I'm going to stick with that. And I'm going to tell other people that happened, and other people are going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, so whoever we bootlegged this fucking cable from, it was a genius to say, listen, we're going to take... They got tons of shows on
they
there.
got tons of shows.
I mean, they have... you name a good show.
I mean, The Sopranos was on there.
Yeah.
Fucking, like, Hey Dude is on there. Or, like, Salute Your Shorts.
Yeah, there's only 2 seasons, but they'll just play it on repeat. I mean, I remember when we first got this bootleg cable. It's one of those things where you're bootlegging it through a Fire Stick, and you're able just to stream from wherever the fuck these servers are at. And when we first got it, they had some 24/7, customized broadcast stations like what we were talking about, where there was, I think they may have had The Wire on.
Yeah, they had The Wire, and I think Eastbound and Down, like a lot of HBO shows, and but then they also have like Kenan and Kel, or Salute Your Shorts, or King of Queens.
Well, then they also had like music video ones where they would take they'd be like, listen, we're gonna play every music video from this artist, and our favorite was the Third Eye Blind channel because there was only 4 videos that they ever played on repeat.
So we would get out a bottle of liquor and be like, all right, and we're going to guess which one's going to be on. And if you're wrong, you got to take a shot.
Yeah.
Or like they had the DMX one.
Oh, yeah, the DMX channel.
I think there was an Eminem.
Yeah.
I can't remember if there was many more than that.
There was only a couple.
Yeah, but the Third Eye Blind one, like this guy, whoever owns this server, is such a big Third Eye Blind fan. And he's like, man, these 4 videos are the best 4 videos I've ever seen.
Just gotta put that shit on repeat, bro. Whatever. I don't care. But yeah,
I felt like it was like TRL. We were going through like the 52 weeks at number 1 or whatever the fuck it was. It couldn't have been 52 weeks. That would have been a year, but you get what I'm saying.
yeah.
But oh shit. But one thing that I wanted to talk about today, and we'll transfer into this, is so you had mentioned that I probably from your Twitch channel. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming it came from, but we were talking about like kids slang these days.
Yeah.
And like we're trying to keep up, like, because we're in the time of our lives where like we're not young anymore, but we're not old. Mm-hmm. So like we're kind of in this limbo of, we know some of the new stuff coming out in the hip stuff, but then we're kind of out of touch with some of the shit.
Right.
So I was explaining to you, you had what was the term that you?
So this one I had learned recently from watching like TikToks and Twitch and everything was no cap, and I was like, what the fuck does that mean? They'd be like, no cap, bro, no cap, and I'm like, I don't know what it means. Like no lie, like the cap is lie, to lie. And I'm like, I don't know where that came from. I don't know how you get to that. I know it's probably street slang is where all this shit comes from. I mean, we had our own words back in the day as well. But like that's one that was like, that one slipped right by my radar. And that's probably been going around for a while.
Right.
And I was like, but it sounds too stupid for me to like incorporate that.
Right. Well, like the last one, like I know that was like really big was like keep it 100.
Yes,
you keep it 100. You're keeping it real. Like when keeping it real goes wrong.
Yeah.
If Chappelle would come out today, it'd be like when keeping it 100 goes wrong.
Yeah.
And like they would use the emoji with the 100 and the lines underneath or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I don't know where that came from either. Like I think
it just came from the emojis.
Right.
I honestly think there was a period of time that there were some new ones that were coming out, or like. I remember the on fleek thing.
Yeah,
that one was so cringy. I was still in my 20s when that was still going around, and I was like, I'm not using that.
Or like why you flexing on me?
Flexing I use all the time. Like that one, I've started using that all the fucking time.
I can get behind that one, but I can't get on the on fleek. I never use that. No. That it just sounds fucking stupid. But yeah, you are right. The flex, like I could say that in day-to-day conversation.
I want shit. The stuff I like is the ones that like the young white girls aren't saying. If a young white girl's saying whatever the fucking new slang words are, I know I want nothing to do with it.
I'm like, look, go back to your pumpkin spice and your Uggs and stop saying these fucking ghetto slang terms.
Yeah, you're ruining it. You ruin the fun of it when you're fucking saying that shit. Like it just, like if it, I don't know. And I feel bad. I feel bad to people that actually use like those, whatever the new slang is, and then you get a bunch of like, young white girls that hang out at Starbucks all the time and saying it like it's like there was a video I seen of Steve-O. Okay, so Steve-O put out a comedy special and he did this stunt where he basically duct taped himself to a billboard that was advertising his comedy special somewhere. And there were these girls that were filming it. Now there were these young white girls that were filming it, but they were talking like black women, not like just using slang. I don't mean that in the sense of like how my grandparents would be like, "Or you're not," but it was like
you're talking like the Catch Me Outside girl.
Yes, exactly. It was like Catch Me Outside, where it was over the top, and I was like
talking with their hands.
Oh yes, and I'm like, stop. Stop. You're trying too hard. We know that you don't talk like this.
Right.
Now, I understand if you're raised in an urban setting, or you're, especially around here, around like Detroit, like
Yeah.
depending on where you're raised, you're going to pick up on that stuff. But I knew for a fact these girls, the way they were like using it in like a weird way, and it just didn't. It sounded so forced and
Right.
cringy, and that's the problem with trying to pick up on the new slang that kids use. Is like you got to be able to know how to use it, or just don't use it.
Yeah, and the thing is most of these girls are probably going to be turning into the Karens that we know today, but they'll have like a different name. And you notice there isn't. Well, I've never seen a black Karen.
No,
You know?
I haven't seen that.
I don't know if there's another term or another name, but
no, it's usually just the white women.
white women with the bob haircut.
Yeah.
But the reason, again, why I kind of wanted to talk about this is the other day that I was at the bar with a couple of women that are slightly older than us. They're 37, and I had to actually explain to them what woke was.
Oh God.
And
You're behind the 8 ball.
And I thought woke has been around for a few years now, and I thought that was like a known thing, because if I know it, then shit. Shit. And I had to explain, like if I was like, if I was in high school right now, the most popular kid would probably be like, a transgender with purple hair or some shit.
Yeah.
Because they're the wokest of the woke.
Yeah, it's all about. Yeah, I remember woke came around. I started to hear about it back in like 2015. I think 2015. And I wasn't even 30 yet at the time. I don't think. I think I was like 29 or something. And I heard that and I was like, this sounds stupid. And then, like, woke is a word that or a term that it's only used when I hear it in like a mocking sense. Like
Right.
nobody outright says, "Oh, and proudly says I'm fucking woke. I'm woke as fuck."
Or like, bro, you're woke as fuck.
Yeah,
Like,
nobody gives that. It's always, no matter what it is, no matter what what your background is, it's always in this mocking sense. But they tried to make it like a legit. And I think it was one of these things where, again, the wrong people got a hold of the word and they just fucking destroyed it.
Because at the beginning, I think at the beginning it was like, yo, stay woke. Like, make sure you're on top of things. Make sure that you know what's going on, and you know everybody's I guess situation.
Yeah.
But it actually brings me to something that we were talking about when we were doing the sitcom draft with Alex P. Keaton's character.
Yeah.
On how we were talking about this, obviously off air, and I kind of wanted to bring it up, and it just came to me, is that his character was a Republican because his parents were hippies in the 60s.
Yeah.
And you had made a good point not too long ago that kids today are rebelling against our generation, and our generation was because we just didn't give a shit about anything. Like, we just didn't care. Like, we just minded our own business, went on with our day, and if it didn't fuck with us, we didn't give a shit.
Yeah, everything sucks. Don't try. Fucking, I'll just whatever. Leave me alone. I just want to. That was our, and that's to this day. That's what I prefer.
Right.
I don't give a shit. Yes, everything sucks. Find the enjoyment where you can get. And it's like, it's weird though, because I understand it's not technically the best mindset
Yeah,
to
it's
have.
not a great mentality. It's like, whatevs, bro.
Yeah, whatevs. Like, dude, the amount of that's why it's funny to see like current generations in like school and stuff, because I have like younger siblings and shit, and you hear about like what goes on in like high schools and stuff, and like in our high school, I mean, everybody tormented the teachers, not because they were just fucking with them all the time, because nobody gave a shit.
Right.
Nobody cared. It was like, whatever, dude, I don't care. Well, but it also doesn't help that like it's also, we were in high school, like I remember, how do you get someone to give a shit when the previous year you were in class and you're like, oh, by the way, hey everybody, let me just interrupt this algebra lecture, but something flew into a tower. I don't know what's going on. We'll keep you posted. Anyway, X plus B equals. So it is a little tough.
Yeah.
I get it. apathy and nihilism.
But
tends to sink in.
I remember being like in class tormenting teachers and stuff. We were in the same class actually.
Yeah.
In a couple of them, and we had a communications teacher, a speech teacher, or whatever, and we would literally be like, Miss Smith, do you know Mike Jones? And she'd be like, who? And the whole class would be like, Mike Jones. And like, she'd be like, what the hell? Fucking locking her out of the classroom.
Oh my God. Yeah. Because it was just a thing of, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. All of this is stupid. That's why I'm like, I look at a lot of younger people that are like, they want to be, and I know it comes from a good place, but they want to be like activists in some way to make a difference, make a change.
Yeah.
And we grew up, we were like, I don't want to do any of that.
Right.
Like I remember there were kids we went to school with that had that mentality of like, I want to make a difference, I want to make a change.
And they were made fun of.
Oh, dude, yeah, we fucking made fun of them like crazy. Now, granted, they were probably in the right for wanting to do that morally, yes, but that's just the way that our generation was. It was just like, I don't give a. There was no wokeness. If you were woke, you were like, dude, shut up. Don't be queer or whatever the word was.
Well, and I was about to bring that up too. It's like we never use like racial slurs, but like homophobic slurs.
Oh yeah,
we would use all the time. Like we'd call people, this name and that name, and it was like everything changed with the whole Emma and Julia commercial.
Yeah, Hillary Duff really blazed a new trail there.
That's so gay. No, that's so Emma and Julia. What does that mean? It means it's stupid. So stupid. Like, I hate that commercial. Like, I remember seeing that commercial, and I was like, that commercial is gay.
Yeah. Yeah, that was... Dude, it was a... What was funny is there was Dane Cook made a joke. It made that exact same joke, like, years ago. And I was thinking about... I'm like, Dane Cook isn't like... He's not that edgy. Let's be honest. He's not. But I remember hearing that... I think it was on Sirius. And... I was like, he'd be in trouble for that now.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be able to do that. That's not woke enough.
Right.
That's not. So anyway, you were teaching these.
I was teaching on like about like, and wokeness is like one of the things for the new generation that I thought everyone knew. Like, or at least like people 40 and under.
Yeah.
And obviously I was wrong because they had no clue. And one of them was a teacher. One of them's an elementary school teacher. So she teaches, I think, 5th grade.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, man, like, how do you not know what these kids are saying or, the propaganda of these kids, I guess. Mm-hmm. But the whole generation is like, like you were saying is, how do you rebel against someone that doesn't give a shit? You overly care about everything. And that's this wokeness. But like you were saying about the no cap, I don't know many of them except for the on fleek was a couple years ago, the flexing, now the no cap, and the wokeness. Like I don't know many more fucking terms that they're using. But I wanted to bring up a funny story of like when when we were coming up with these slang terms and stuff. There was one that my mom, she comes home from work one day. And she's like, you know what? I can't stand what these kids are saying. And, she's talking about, our age group or whatever. Mm-hmm. She goes, this my bag. And I'm like, my bag? What the hell is my bag? And she's like, I don't know. I hear it all the time. I go, Mom, is it my bad? And she's like, she just looked at me. I go, it means like my fault. Like, sorry, my bad. Like, and she's like, I can't stand. I'm like, my bag, Mom. What the hell are you talking about?
I remember when my bad started coming around, or there was that. I think this was like when we were in high school, maybe just out of. It was my bad and like what was no lie.
Yeah.
Like, no lie, man, no lie. Like at first that was one that crept in where I was like, I heard people start saying that. I was like, at like fucking 17, I was like, I don't know about this. But then all of a sudden it creeps in, and then you catch yourself saying it, and all of a sudden it naturally. That's the way I like it. Just have it naturally make its way in to my vocabulary. I don't like. I can't force terms until it. The guy again on Fleek's a great example where too many people forced it, and then now you sound like a fucking idiot when you say it. You can't just let it naturally. Some phrases only exist in some different maybe regions of the country or whatever.
On Fleek sounds like it sounds like a rapper came up with it, and then everyone's like, "Oh yeah, that's on fleek."
Yeah.
Like no, dude, you might not even know what the fuck that means.
That might be just a term that was in from like this particular city in this particular
Right.
state.
Like Detroit has "What up, though."
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna go to any other city probably in the United States or maybe in the world, and you're gonna be like hear people being like, "Hey, what up, though?" Unless they're from Detroit.
Yeah, exactly. So but it is almost work. Like I almost make sure that I'm on enough social media, at least X amount of hours a week, to make sure I'm up to date. I don't want to be the old out of touch guy.
Right.
I'm always want to at least know what's going on. I check out TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and all that shit just so I am up to speed, because that's my biggest fear. Is like all of a sudden I don't want to turn into the guy. Like remember when we were getting out of high school, going into college, and like social media was taking off, like Facebook, and then people would be like, "I don't do computers. I don't do that Facebooking. I don't want nothing to do with it." And I'm like, you're hurting yourself.
Right.
You got to at least, like, I see it in my own family. Like, it took my dad did not want, he had no interest in computers and everything. But when my grandparents on the other side, they kept up with it. Mm-hmm. You know, they have the newest iPhones now. They have, you know, they
Yeah, my parents still have flip phones.
Yeah, that's what my dad was. He was on flip phones until the company gave him a smartphone. It's like, this is your company issued phone you have to have, and you couldn't get flip phones anymore. And now he's playing catch up, and he constantly always gets mad because he feels dumb because he doesn't know. And I'm like, you did this to you. You did this to you. If you try to, you have to always be learning. You can't just be like, nope, I don't fuck with nothing past the fucking cassette tape. Like, what? Get out of my other grandparents on my dad's side, they never fucked with anything beyond an antenna. They just didn't want to do it. They didn't know how to operate a VCR. You know, and
That's crazy.
They passed recently in the last like 5 years or so. Like they didn't know how to operate a VCR. They barely knew how to operate. Like I remember I took their remote one time because they didn't know how. I was like, listen, I took tape and I taped up all the buttons that they don't need. And I was like, only use these buttons for this. And I took the other remote and I was like, you use these buttons for that, and that's it. Like, and I never want to end up like that.
Yeah. And because I was actually late to the social media game as well. Like I didn't like the idea of Facebook. I don't like my stuff out there. But then like when I started DJing, I was like, well, you know, if you do want to get stuff out there, this is a good opportunity. So I did need to get on Facebook and all that. But especially for, you know, with this show and all this, like how else are we gonna fucking reach people?
Well, exactly.
You know, if you're not using social media. And you know, at the time, I don't think people thought that social media was going to take off the way it did.
Yeah,
even with Facebook, when Facebook expanding, I don't think they were going to think there was going to be many more platforms. People don't think that far ahead.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it's almost like now, like for the longest time, up until recently, I had to get my mind around the idea of like, I was like always in the back of my head. I was like, well, I need to build a website. You know, I got to get that. That needs to be. And then it hit me, and I know I sound stupid for saying this at this point in time, but I was like, wait a minute, no, why? Why am I doing that? You just use social media, and that's the thing. Like you don't have a website. You just put yourself on every social media platform so people can find you there where it's convenient, and then you can. I
mean, not many people are going to wwws anymore, you know, .com.
Yeah. No,
or whatever. So
yeah, get yourself a link tree and then link all your fucking shit together.
Get a link tree, get an OnlyFans, and fucking just start shaking your ass on or taking pictures and selling them to people.
I love to go on like TikTok or Instagram, TikTok in particular, because they don't give you a lot of space to put links in. So people do the link tree, which sends it to another page that has all your links, and it'll be like some girl. And sometimes they're kind of attractive. Like the ones that are overly like twerking on there and shit, I know they have an OnlyFans. Like, it's but the ones that are like doing like stuff where they're talking, but they kind of still look attractive, I have a little private game in my head of like, all right, I wonder if they got an OnlyFans. And I try to like, if I could, I'd gamble on the fact of like, okay, let's see, let me check out their link tree, scroll through. I got Instagram, got TikTok, got Snapchat. Okay, Snapchat, maybe, we don't know. And then I'll be like, OnlyFans, got it. There we go.
Well, the other day, one of our friends, his girl, was telling me that her cousin is gonna be on OnlyFans.
Really?
And like she's like, yeah, like she goes, yeah, my cousin was telling me that she's gonna be selling pictures on this site, and I was like, OnlyFans? She goes, you know about OnlyFans? Of course I know about OnlyFans. Like, fuck, man, like every porn star's on OnlyFans.
Everybody's on. Well, the thing about OnlyFans. So I was actually thinking of something. Here's a little mini production meeting we can have on air here. I had this idea
Putting
of
the
like
show on OnlyFans.
well, not the show, but I was like, it'd be interesting because OnlyFans you can put whatever you want on
Right.
there. It's like I was like, what if, I think we may have even joked about it on a previous episode of like we have like episode. You remember like Jerry Springer used to sell tapes where it was like too hot for TV,
yeah.
or Cops would sell tapes. The show Cops would be like, oh, this is too hot for TV. I was like, well, what if we did something where we did like a too hot for
like
fucking
like a microphone in front of my dick. like Shawn Michaels posing with the belt laying down.
No, not like pictures, but I mean, you could upload other stuff than pictures on OnlyFans. I don't know if you.
I know pictures and videos.
Yeah, video. So what I was saying is you could have like a podcast, but it's like a fucking, we could put the video version of the podcast.
We're in scantily clad attire.
Well, no, I'm not. No one's gonna want to watch that.
That'll be real woke.
But you could, because the idea came from I heard. Now I don't know. This is something I'm kicking around, so we'll figure it out. I get a lot of ideas, and sometimes I got to get through the filter of reality. But, so I heard that in this podcast, someone was doing like a version, like a premium, like a lot of podcasts will do. You get the free episode, and then you get the Patreon episode. Well, someone was going to do an OnlyFans episode. So if you subscribed on OnlyFans, and they would do like, I guess they do like a lot of anime stuff. They talk about anime or whatever the fuck. But then they were going to do ones where they review like hentai anime because it's porn, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's an interesting way to be able. So you're not doing porn, but you're doing something that you can't put anywhere else.
Right.
So you could put it on this porn platform, but you're still doing an extension of your show. So that's
So our extension of the show would become Howard Stern essentially on
yes.
E.
Yes. That's
You know,
what I was.
we getting chicks in the room and putting cream cheese on their ass and throwing bagels at it.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. We'll kick it around for a while. I'm just spitballing here. We'll see what happens. Maybe by 2021 we can unroll that one.
Maybe if there's a little less COVID around.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. There's just a thought. Just a thought.
Check out 64 Bet Legends on OnlyFans.
Why not, dude? It'd be fucking cause then there's the shock factor of like, well, now I gotta see what the fuck this is. Like, wait a minute. Why do you have an what's going on there? Like,
because I'm a genetic freak.
yeah.
Oh shit. But I don't even know how
So
we
who
got
knows?
to OnlyFans. But
2021's I'm making an OnlyFans. Mark my words.
check out Melvin Troy OnlyFans. If you all the photos you want. But yeah, you get okay. So have you ever been on OnlyFans?
I mean, I've been to the website, but I've never like signed up for anybody.
Like I checked it out.
Yeah.
And you get the subscription, and then you like they can send you photos in a message.
Yeah.
But you have to pay to unlock them.
Yeah, it's like a virtual strip club.
Right.
It's the same idea of like you pay the cover to get in the club, and
With
then
no mask.
With no mask, yes. And then you can get some basic stuff like you would if you're just sitting watching the stage.
Yeah.
But if you want some more more action,
Right.
you pay more and you get your private stuff.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the way people are working it. So that's at least the spiel that I've heard from social media.
Because
So-
I wouldn't be surprised if the the gamer girls from Twitch start going on there too.
Oh fuck!
If
Dude,
they're not
there's-
already on there,
dude. Half of them have already been doing premium Snapchats, so this is just an easy transition. I mean, the girls, the fucking gamer thoughts, they've had this hustle down for a while, and the thing is with Twitch, which is a good transition. The thing with Twitch is that you create like this weird parasocial relationship where you're kind of like. You kind of make friends with your viewers, and the viewers feel like get to know you because you're on for
Right.
and you're interacting for hours every week. And I mean, the girls get it down because then they can just easily get these simps, as the kids call it. Simp is another one. That's another new phrase that's been really hitting the streets. It's hot on the streets right now.
But yeah, it almost reminds me of like an old school like AOL chat room.
Yeah.
Like AIM. You know, you would go in and you like sometimes, you know, like if you're bored or whatever, you go into an AOL chat room or whatever, and possibly you could like start talking to people on a regular basis from there.
Yeah.
You know, most people like, you know, press 777 if you're a girl.
Yeah.
Or some shit like that, or ASL, you know, but you know, sometimes you run into people that you just fucking continue to talk to about whatever.
Well, that's
you know?
I mean, that's happened to me where there's people from my Twitch chat, and I have a Discord obviously, so that people can talk when I'm not on,
right.
You know, and yeah, people become friends on there, and then there's people that I've talked to, and there's people that I've kind of grown to trust a little bit to be able to they help me out with stuff.
Yeah,
you know, I've had like people send me designs,
the graphic arts.
Yeah, like graphic art stuff. Other people want to they help me moderate stuff, and these are people I don't even know personally that I've just kind of met through there. So it is interesting. So if I was like a hot girl, fuck, bro, this would be easy. This would be way easier.
Right.
Like I would be the amount of hustle that I got to put in and the amount of work would be so much. Now, granted, I'd get like 10 times the crazy messages because I do get crazy messages from people. Mm-hmm. Now, usually they're just like autistic kids that are like, you know, that have no social grace whatsoever, and they just don't understand. Like, hey, you don't have to. Just because I played Five Nights at Freddy's a couple times doesn't mean my whole life revolves around that game,
right?
Or Minecraft, for example.
Well, like I always said, like, you know, if you're, and I'm not even gonna say a hot chick, if you're a decent looking chick, there is no reason why you can't be rich, because you either can marry a rich dude or you can do so many online things to make you money, and people are so fucking desperate these days because everyone's on their phone or on computer or whatever, and you know, the people like they go out less, you know, so this is their social gathering. This is how they meet people. This is how they get attention from girls. You know, whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah. You get a lot of, and then of course you get like. So here's a story I wanted to tell you the other day. Speaking of Twitch, so speaking of you get these weirdos in here, and you start to kind of like, you get repeat people in there on a regular basis. Like for Twitch, there's people that are always in my chat every time, almost like 99% of the time.
Right.
And then there's people that are in there about like 70% of the time. Sometimes they're in there, sometimes they're not, depending on their age. Maybe they got school, so they can't stay up as late, or maybe they, you know, whatever. Maybe they got work. They got some weird shift that they're on. But then I get the weirdos. So there's this guy, and I'm gonna call him out by his fucking screen name. Fuck it, I know he don't listen to this because there's something wrong with him. He goes by the name of the Death King.
The Death King.
The Death King is his name.
All right.
So Death King comes in, and he's I honestly think he's got something wrong with him. I think that he's got to be, if he's not 12 years old, he's got to be like autistic or something, some degree on the spectrum, right? And he comes in. This is probably like a month ago. We've been joking about this off and on for months on stream, which, by the way, it's twitch.tv/Melvin Troy. You know, you go there.
Check it out.
Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
No more Minecraft Mondays.
No more. No, we've switched it up. But so Death King comes in there a few months ago, and I love the name Death King.
Yeah.
It's great. It's fucking. It's
similar to Death Witch.
Yeah, but but it's like he's the king of death, so you know what he's about, you know. And so
Straight to the point, dude.
Death King comes in. He's hanging out. He's chatting with everybody else, having a good time, and then all of a sudden one day, he's a great example of this. I've had other people do this, but where they try to make themselves sound really cool.
Yeah.
So he eventually tells us that he's a Hell's Angel, and I'm like, really? You're a Hell's Angel? Interesting.
The Death King.
The Death King. I mean, hey, reasonable name, I guess, for someone that's a Hell's Angel. So I'm like, okay, so you brought this up, so now I have to ask, you know, what are your meetings like? What do you? I'm sure you got to pay. You got to pay dues. Like, how much are you pay in dues? Like, because let's be honest, I know a fucking Hell's Angel is not going to be hanging out on Twitch flexing that he's a fucking Hell's Angel. He's like, hey guys, watch this. I watch this guy. He plays Minecraft every Monday. And told him I was a Hell's Angel, and it freaked him out. Fucking cool, man.
Well,
like nobody fucking says that.
Or you could have pulled a Sonny and locked him in the chat and been like, "Nah, you can't leave."
That is true. That is true. So he says he's a Hell's Angel, and then he gets really upset that no one in the chat believes him
or cares.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's like you don't care. And then he tells us like that his friend is like a godfather in the mafia. I was like, the Godfather. What? They don't what?
I like the term.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like
he's not a mob boss.
He's the Godfather. Yes. I was like, what are you talking about? And so he's like, yeah, and it's because someone didn't believe him when they were talking shit to him. And he's like, oh yeah, well I'll talk to the Godfather and he's gonna come. I'm like, you have to either be 12 or you are honestly autistic. Like there's something wrong with you. And He gets really upset. And I'm like, oh, so let's play this out, okay? You call up the Godfather. You can be like, hey Johnny, listen to me right now. Okay, so I'm in this Twitch chat. Okay, we were playing Minecraft. Everything was cool. Then they talk shit to me because I'm a Hell's Angel. You know I'm a president of the Hell's Angels, right? You know that. Anyway, there's this other kid in here. That's his name. He's making fun of me. He calls himself the Bee King, and he doesn't seem to believe me. So I think we should send a hitman out there. And the Godfather's like, exactly. You're exactly right. We need to fucking find that person in the chat. Like, come on, really?
Or he takes out the marker and be like, remember that favor you owe me? I'm gonna cash that in right now. Slide over a piece of paper that the ripped dollar or whatever the marker is. I owe you a favor.
Yeah. Like it's just so anyway, that happens. That's a month ago. Then he pops in and out, but the weird thing is I know that he has to be somewhat of an adult because he's donated before. Now I understand as I have a cross section of my audience on Twitch that's like there's younger kids,
right,
and then there's adults, people in their 20s up to 30, whatever. And usually if they donate bits, that's money. Like a
bit is essentially a penny, right?
Yeah, a bit is a penny. So if they donate like 100 bits, it's like a dollar. Yeah, and you can make the text to speech, so you can like write a message in and it reads it off, and we all laugh and ha ha ha, it's a good time. And
Death King.
Yeah. So I know the Death King has done that before, and he always wants to he always requests that I play Real Motherfucking G's by Eazy-E.
Well, why not?
Yeah, he always fucking demands it. He demands it. So
it's probably just Nate fucking with you.
Maybe
he loves that song.
Maybe it might be. Yeah, wouldn't that be the twist? So he comes in to the stream last week, and we're joking around, having a good time, doing whatever. I think I was playing Sonic Adventure. So this is going to be really good because I also know I get new people that kind of come through. There's people who search, especially when I'm playing a game that's not super popular.
Right.
There's people that are interested in that game particularly, and they'll search for it, and then I usually dominate the category.
Right. Yeah, because like if you go to say Grand Theft Auto and 5 and everyone's fucking playing it, how are you going to get a new person because they have hundreds of people to pick from?
Right. But there's only like 6 people playing Sonic Adventure or something.
Right.
And so I was playing that for a little bit. And he comes in and I was like, oh, Death King's back. We haven't seen you in a while. How you been? Blah, blah, blah. And he goes, oh, well, my sister died the other day. And I'm like, oh, man, that's unfortunate. And I try to like move on from the subject, because there's other people chatting or whatever.
You don't want to bring the whole room down.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he doesn't stop. He goes, well, something along the lines of like, well, I'm just really sad and upset. I'm like, listen, okay. And then but he does these cryptic, like he'll write a sentence out every minute. So then there's a bunch of other stuff that I'm responding to, and then it's like that, and it's like, God, it's like this nagging. Like I feel bad if it's true. I feel bad.
Right. But he is the Death King.
He is the Death King. I had to really hold back from making a joke about that at the time. So he keeps going on about it. So I'm like, all right, listen. So I paused the game. I'm like, listen, you know what? Let's talk about this right now. I was like, I want you to write out everything you want to tell me. Don't send this. Don't trickle me the information.
Yeah.
Write your paragraph. We can address it now, and then we could kind of move on because I don't want you to have to linger with this. Get it all out.
Right.
Plus,
Little therapy session.
yeah. Plus, do me the favor so we can get over this and I can move on too.
Right.
Because it is a little tough where you're walking into you're like, oh wait, I want to watch this guy play Sonic Adventure, and you click on it, and we're like, and then I'm on a spiel about like, well, listen, you got to live your life to the fullest, and death is inevitable, and you got to, they're like, what did I just walk into?
Yeah, fucking giving a eulogy.
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
So I do this. I talk about this whole thing, and we kind of move past it, and then we're kind of going back to making jokes and about the game and whatever. And then he goes and he says, "Well, I'm just going to end it." And I'm like, "Well, that sounds pretty cryptic." But I'm like, "All right, I'll take it from the best perspective." I was like, "You're going to end the conversation? That's perfectly fine. Have a nice rest of your day, and then we move on." And then he realized that I didn't take the bait, so then he's like, "Well, I'm just gonna off myself." And I'm like, "God damn it!" So now you're gonna be suicidal over this thing, and then I got really mad because then I was like, listen, there's two ways that this is gonna go. Number one, you're being genuine with me, and so now I have to report you. Which you can report people for self-harm.
Right.
There's an actual category where you have to do that. So it's like, now I have to do that. Now I have to address this because I have to do a little cover of my ass because I don't want to be the guy that fucking clip goes around where it was like, this so-and-so died. He tried to reach out to a streamer and they didn't do anything. They just said, see you later.
Yeah, it's like that chick that like texted her boyfriend to kill himself.
Yeah. So I'm like, listen. So I was like, okay. So there's two ways it's gonna go. Number one, if it's true, don't do that. So now all eyes are on you though right now. I was like, that's gonna be one of the most selfish things you could do. Blah blah blah. You don't want to do that. But I was like, also though, let's keep in mind that you also told me that you're a fucking hell's angel a month ago. So please understand why I may not fully believe you.
Right.
And I kind of went off on him, and I think I scared him by this saying I was going to report him. And he was like, no, I won't do that. I won't do that. No, I won't. I was like, okay. I was like, so if that was your autistic way to get fucking attention again, you're going about it the completely wrong way.
Right.
Like, that's not going to fucking work. This is, by the way, tune into me on Twitch. We deal with this on a regular basis, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Melvin Troy can be your therapist.
Yes.
He's non-licensed, but
it's a great commercial for the stream.
He's as good as Yellow Ribbon.
Yes. So that's, I mean, I kind of went off on him a bit, and then and I don't know what ended up happening. I don't know what happens when you report anybody. I haven't heard anything since. He did check in. I was on a Monday. He checked in on a Wednesday, and he was like, hey, what's up? And I was like, oh, looks like you're still with us.
Right.
Thank God for that. But it's like, there's this weird audience, and I understand because they're probably lonely. They don't have any friends, but they just come off really weird, and they just want attention. And I get that now and again, where it's just, or I got a guy that constantly hits me up in the DMs. I had to ban him from the Discord because he was just being a dick. Like, he just couldn't. He had no tact in what he left the Discord. So it's a server.
Right.
You click a link to get an invite, but technically they're private.
Yeah.
But
you need probably a password or just a link or what?
You could set it for a password. You can give typically you make temporary links so they expire after a while.
Oh, gotcha.
But you can make a permanent link as well, which I do. But he left the server. Then he couldn't get back in because you need to click an invite link again to get back in. And so he all of a sudden just assumes he got banned. So then he blows me up about why'd I get banned? I'm like, wait. So I look at the ban list. It's like, you're not in there. I haven't had to ban you.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, well, yeah. And also this same kid, he won a giveaway. So I do giveaways every now and again, like a merch giveaway. And what's really great about it is the service that prints the merch for me handles the entire thing. So if you win the raffle, it puts a link in the chat. Only the winner can click the link, fill out their address, pick the size of the shirt or whatever. Yeah. And then you just fill out, basically you just pick the size if it's a piece of clothing, fill out your address, and then we'll send it directly to you. So I don't have to do anything.
Right.
Well, this guy was just all of a sudden couldn't figure out, he lived in America, and he's like, I can't find America on this. And I'm like, there's like a drop down and you have to do that. And he's like, well, it just has America Samoa. And then he's just like, I get this weird, and he's not the only one that does it, but I get a lot of people in the chat that want to do they want tech support. And I had to just start being a dick and be like, I don't do tech support. I don't know. Figure it out. I don't know.
What are you, IT?
Yeah, exactly.
Shit.
So So he goes and he's bitching about it, and so he's trying to send me pictures of it and the Discord, and I'm like, dude, you realize I'm in the middle of something,
Right?
Like this is not a 1-to-1 conversation. It's like I'm still like doing whatever game that we were doing. It might have been like Minecraft or something where you're interacting with other people, and it's like I got to stop everything because you can't figure out how to fucking put your address in. So then I get him into Discord. So I was like, you know what? Let's stop. I open up Discord chat, and he goes into voice chat so he can screen share with me.
Yeah.
It's like a Zoom.
Yeah.
And I broadcast the whole thing. Well, not his address, obviously, but I show the screen
Right.
that he's on to at least pick the country. And I'm like, okay, so if it's everything's in alphabetical order, so you're gonna want to go to the United States, and because he gets an attitude with me, and then all of a sudden he finds it because he's typing in America. No address. If you bought anything, it never says America because
Right.
America is the continent.
Right.
Like it's the United States of America.
And
like it's not.
usually the United States, like it'll be in alphabetical order, but the United States is usually on the top before it goes into alphabetical order.
It's usually either at the top or the very bottom because
Yeah.
it's an alphabet. In this case, it was at the bottom under U
Yeah,
for United
right.
States. So I was like, did you look up United States? All of a sudden, I see him click it. He ends the chat and it's gone. And I was like, see. And then after that, then he. So it's just like, dude, you're so. It's like an entitlement and a demanding. And I'm like, I don't envy people that have larger audiences that have more of those people. And so the bigger reason I bring this up is because even though I think that it is easier for some of these hot girls to do that, imagine the insane
Right.
fucking messages that they get. Because that's what I get.
Yeah, because they get the fucking horny individuals.
Yes, and
that
then
are like, fucking just blowing them up.
and they donate a lot of money, so they think they're entitled to a piece of them.
Right.
And it's like, I people donate money to me. There's people that have donated. I don't encourage just donating money. Use your bits, so it's in smaller increments.
Yeah.
But you get your attention. You can put your message up there, or gift subs to people, so you can gift subs. So that means someone gets to watch it without having to deal with the commercials
Yeah.
on Twitch. Like that, do that. But yeah, you get these girls will get like $100 donations, and it's like nothing's ever for free.
Right.
Somebody wants something.
Right.
If I get 100 bits, I know they just want a little bit of recognition and to say, "Hey, man, you're doing a good job."
Yeah.
That's fine. But if someone donates to me $100, I'm gonna get suspicious. They've never done
Right.
this, but I would get suspicious to be like, "Well, what is it that you want?"
Yeah.
And you know that these girls are getting that.
I want your OnlyFans password.
Exactly. Which I don't know. That's almost like I got this thing. This is another project I got to work on, which is like there's like different tiers of subscriptions on Twitch. One of them, there's a top tier which is $25 a month.
Yeah.
I have one or two people that subscribe on that at that level. It's unreasonable. You don't really get much extra out of it, but they want to support. And I'm like, I got to figure out a way. So maybe I can link my OnlyFans to that. I don't know. I'm spitballing here. We'll figure it out. So I tell you that story because there was something else I wanted to tell you about. It's going to shift gears. I talked about this on Twitch a lot lately, and because COVID-19 comes up a lot, we talk a lot about.
Where doesn't it come up? Like, I don't know if you guys have heard of this virus that I think came from China that has taken down like at least the American states.
Yeah.
Or American states, United States.
Yes.
Now you got me thinking.
Yeah.
Now you got me all fucked up. I don't even know where we live. The United States. I don't know if everyone's heard of this. People are in bubbles.
Yeah.
There's
three things we
there's
talk about
masks.
on my streams. It's COVID-19 and
OnlyFans
and OnlyFans
and suicides.
and suicides. That's what we discuss on Twitch. And sometimes I play
Check them
video
out.
games.
Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays.
Yes.
If any of that applies to you.
But no, well, so I don't know if you've seen that Elon Musk has unveiled the progress they're making on the Neuralink chip that'll go into people's heads.
Okay.
Long story short,
So it's like a I'm guessing it's like a chip, like a dog chip.
yeah,
Like you put it under your skin.
yes,
And they can track certain shit.
Yeah, well, his idea is to be able to like take in like maybe someone's paralyzed, but maybe it can send messages to
Yeah.
help them and for rehabilitation purposes, and of course there's some other purposes I'm sure down the road. So, but we've been actually talking about chips for a while now. You know, Microsoft has this service called Game Pass, right? Where Game Pass, if you're not familiar, if you subscribe to like I do like the top end one because you basically it's like the Netflix of video games.
Yeah.
You get X amount of games. You get all the Microsoft owned games are always included, like Gears of War, Halo.
Now, do
shit like that.
they shuffle games like Netflix does movies? or
So the
shows?
ones that they don't own, yeah, they'll shuffle them in and out. You know, the major ones they'll usually keep. Like GTA 5 was on there for a while, but then they'll move it out and then
Yeah.
they'll bring it back or whatever. Fortnite, well, Fortnite's free. Never mind, that's a bad example. But anyway, but they'll have, and you can access it on not just your Xbox, but you also get access on your PC. So it's
Okay.
pretty good. Especially someone like me that uses both. That's like, well, it's a pretty good deal for 15. For me, it's like $15 a month. So I bring that up because you know, we've been talking about it on stream a lot, and I figured it'd be good to expand this discussion here, where the question was if if Bill Gates, because I know Bill Gates wants to get into the vaccine business. There's a lot of and there's nothing more that I would trust. I don't trust anything more than when a billionaire wants to get involved in vaccines. When a billionaire wants to get involved in vaccines, I'm like, sign me up to whatever they're doing. Because they're a billionaire. Why not trust them? Bill Gates is like, he's a saint amongst men.
Yeah, I know.
So
He's like the billionaire next door.
So my thing is like, if they include a lifetime subscription to Game Pass, and I get the newest Windows chip to prevent COVID-19, I'd be sign me up right now. Now we've been having this debate on Twitter because a lot of people just don't seem to agree with me on this. But I'm like, the slogan would be perfect. You get the Windows or the Microsoft logo, right?
Yeah.
And the slogan says, "Don't get sick, get chipped, 2021," with a complimentary lifetime subscription to Game Pass. I'd be like, well, where do you need me to sign up? Because I am ready for this. I don't want to get COVID-19.
See, now you're just signing up to be like a human centipede.
Yeah, but I don't get to catch COVID-19. And that's the real win.
That is, yeah. I guess.
You know what I mean? The second wave is coming. So I need to get chipped. I say, Bill Gates, I need you to put a chip in me now.
See, I rode the first wave, and you know, I don't even think I got like a cold. So,
Well, yeah, you got lucky this time.
this time,
The second wave is coming. I need a chip in me stat.
this is like Jaws 2.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I didn't learn my lesson of getting out of the water, so I'm gonna go back in.
Yeah. But this time, if I'm chipped, so that's what I'm like. I think that's going to be the future. I think Jeff Bezos is going to get in the vaccine game, the chip game, as I like to call it. Elon Musk is already in there.
See,
He's knee deep in it.
this is where we disagree because your agenda right here, and I know it because it's gonna be coming, and I'm just waiting for it. And your propaganda from here is to promote the goddamn Samoa Joe project because you're not gonna have belly buttons, and you're gonna have to fucking plug yourself in like a fucking iPod to fucking charge yourself with this goddamn chip. So I know where this is going.
This is not this. To be honest, the Samoa Joe project had no connection to this.
Yeah. Okay.
Until you just mentioned it.
And it's perfect. It brings your whole goddamn world together.
It does bring it all back together because what it's really going to come down to, the future is going to be, what billionaire do you want to align yourself with? Do you want to align yourself with Jeff Bezos? Do you want to align yourself with Bill Gates?
Trump?
Vince McMahon? Or Elon Musk? And it's a direct tie right now.
What
for
about
me.
Zuckerberg?
Something's going to happen with Zuckerberg. He's not going to be a billionaire forever.
I think he's already an AI.
Yeah, I think that he's like the test subject of
Yeah.
it. So he doesn't really. I think he's actually secretly owned by Bill Gates. But we'll get into that on another
He's like
day.
Bill Gates' child.
Yeah, but I think everybody's got their own version of what I like to call getting chipped. Okay. And sometimes it's as blatant as Elon Musk's Neuralink, but other times, and I thank you for being able to tie all this together, you're actually getting pretty woke to the idea.
No, I'm not.
Is that Vince McMahon's Samoa Joe project is his idea of getting chipped.
Slicing this DNA with a chip.
Yeah, so his is more of like an analog. You know, it's the same battle between like, do I go analog or do I go digital? Right? Elon Musk Neuralink, Bill Gates chip is all digital. Vince
What if
McMahon,
you pull a Tommy Wiseau and do both?
Well, you could, and I think that might be where Bezos might go, but we'll get into that in a minute.
Actually, doing both is maybe what's wrong with the Death King.
Maybe.
And that was the test subject, and now he thinks he's a Hell's Angel, and he thinks his sister died. Maybe, hopefully she didn't, and all this other shit.
Yeah, see,
it all ties together.
It does. So I believe that Vince McMahon is going the hipster, like, analog. You know, he's more of like, I only listen to vinyl man type stuff, right? With the Samoa Joe project. Now, just a quick recap for those that don't know.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, we have a whole episode dedicated to the Samoa Joe project. We can really go in depth, but basically,
Somehow it's number 2 on our popular list.
it is. It's the second most downloaded episode. A lot of people are getting hip to the idea of it. They know that this is happening. So
I'd rather see McMahonkind.
basically, take Jurassic Park, but instead of dinosaurs, instead of frog DNA for the dinosaurs, they're using Samoa Joe DNA for wrestlers. Or to really anybody. It's going to start with wrestlers. That's when Disney's going to buy out WWE. They're going to start with wrestlers, but the next thing you know, they're going to start with anybody. And that's going to... But if you combine that with the Bill Gates chip, now you got like... Now you can do whatever you want. Now you can send people to Mars. You can do... And then that's...
Insert rolling eye emoji right here.
Listen, this
Shaking
is
my head. SMH.
But to go back to my original point, though, before we got sidetracked on this great connection that I'm so glad you were able to put together for me.
I shouldn't have said anything, but you would have fucking tied it in anyway. I know that's where you were going. You're playing it off like we weren't going in that direction, but you definitely, like, you're One Direction. You're that fucking weird band that's going that way, one way only, and it was all fucking going down the street, down fucking SmackDown to the SmackDown Hotel to get your fucking Samoa Joe project tied into this episode because you fucking have to tie it into every single goddamn episode that we fucking do. Jesus fucking Christ.
No, well, listen. What I really wanted to talk about, though, was the benevolent billionaires that are out there right now that are trying to end the terror of COVID-19. And I honestly think that Bill Gates is going to be the one to do it. I mean, think about it. You get to package in Windows Home Office Home, I think is, you won't get business. You won't get the plug, but you get Windows Office, you get Microsoft Word and Excel and all that stuff for free. Game Pass, and if they also gave you unlimited upgrades to Xbox Series X, I mean, how are you going to beat that? Just a little chip, and you don't get COVID-19. You can go back to the gym. You go back to the gym.
Yeah, but then, like, they're going to control your thoughts.
What, to a point, but they can't control everything because how am I going to end up beating the Flood in Halo? They want me to play it.
I have no comment to that. I don't know what to say.
So I mean this is still progressing. We're gonna see how this ends up, but I'm just telling everybody when it unrolls or is unveiled in the coming months, when Bill Gates gets out there and says, because I mean, okay, listen, if you don't, I don't understand why no one would want to trust Bill Gates, because he had this other great idea where he gets to stop global warming. He was going to take a bunch of dust and shoot it at the sun. Look that up. He was going to do that. And unfortunately, these plebs got in the way and didn't let him do it.
Oh, God.
We need to let these billionaires direct our lives more, because they know they have $1 billion. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
We're going to shoot dust at the sun. We're going to build a giant wall next to Mexico.
Yes. We're going to have an army of Samoa Joes. and everybody's gonna get chipped and have free Game Pass.
Imagine going in for like a colonoscopy, and like while you're out, they just shove a chip up your ass, and you never know.
Yo, I mean, it already started. Think about, okay, so this is what really tied it together for me today. I bought that Amazon tablet. I told you this.
Yeah.
So I bought a brand new. They had a big sale on the Amazon Fire tablets. I have a Fire TV, and I'm trying to read more, right? So I bought this Amazon tablet. I bought it with my Amazon Prime account with my Amazon credit card. Now, they send it to me. I turn it on, and it says, please wait. We have to download more updates. Now, I'm like, download? That's interesting because I haven't connected to the Wi-Fi, so maybe it's got 3G involved. I don't know. Tablet updates, installs the update, turns on. I'm already signed into my Prime account. They used all my login already, but when they, I guess, manufactured the thing, I don't know. They already logged me in, and it remembers the Wi-Fi password from my Fire TV, pulls that, and is already doing the update as soon as I turned it on. Now, if they can do that to a tablet, imagine if we get the Bezos chip or the Bill Gates chip. You get to talk to, what is it, Cortana or Alexa? That could be...
Hey, Daryl. Hey, Daryl, write this down. Doot. Oh man, but no, imagine going for a colonoscopy, right?
Yeah.
And they fucking shove one up your ass you don't know.
Yeah.
And then fucking like you're getting tired later that day, and like your fucking body starts glowing like ET. Like you're like, what the hell's going on? And then you fall asleep, and like it's like red, and you wake up and it's like a green glow. You're like, oh, I must be refreshed.
Like when you wake up, your chest has like the same sound and like animation that when you turn on an Xbox on the screen, it does that. You remember the original Xbox? It would just have this green blob and go, and then the Xbox logo would pop up. That's
like, oh man,
that's what's
I
in your
feel
chest.
great.
That's what's gonna be in your chest when you get chipped. That's what it's gonna be.
Oh god, it's gonna look like the ET heart.
Yeah. The problem is if you get the Microsoft chip, you're gonna have to be stuck using only Microsoft Edge. You won't be able to use Chrome.
I'm a PS guy, dude. I'm a PlayStation guy.
Oh, you're really gonna get fucked.
So
Sony, listen, haven't you seen that Sony? Like when Sony tried to make a phone, that's what it's gonna be. You're not gonna want the Sony chip. They're good at PlayStations and TVs.
yeah, but did you see the Windows Phone? The Windows Phone wasn't that too great either.
No, it wasn't. I'll be honest with you. The Windows Phone was pretty subpar.
In my IT days, like they used the Windows Phone. Oh my god, to fucking to set that up for a nurse was fucking horrendous. Like you have like the tablet, like the what are they called?
The stylus?
No, the icons.
Oh yeah.
But I forget.
Oh, it's like when you go to the start menu now for Windows, you got those block icons.
Yeah. You had to pin it to the homepage.
Oh wow.
And all that shit. It was just like a fucking computer, but it was like I was like, dude, like this is so stupid.
Yeah, it was Windows 8. It was basically Windows 8. Yeah. Yeah, that was. I mean, yeah, Windows. But the thing is you can get Game Pass with the chip, or if you get the Bezos chip, free Prime.
What about the PlayStation Plus?
Nobody gives a fuck about PlayStation Plus. Like what?
Actually, play online.
Well, actually, PlayStation now they're thinking of moving all their exclusive stuff. So like, I don't even know what exclusives they have much anymore. But I know they got.
I know they have MLB The Show.
They have that. And they have a couple other ones, but they're thinking of moving those to PC as well now. They've already brought over a bunch of them. So I think Sony's going to get out of the game. So that's why I'm saying. I mean, you can go with the Sony chip, but I'm telling you, it may not be the best. I would say long term, go with the Microsoft chip.
You know what? I'm going to go with the TiVo chip, so it learns what I like.
Well, all the chips will do that. Not TiVo.
Well, no, I'm doing TiVo.
Oh, the original TiVo?
The original TiVo.
So then all of a sudden you just have random dreams from like old episodes of Night Court.
Yes.
You're like, wait a minute.
I didn't like this.
This was terrible, even in the 80s. I don't know why I watched this.
There's an episode of King of Queens where Spence gets a TiVo,
yeah,
and it thinks Spence is gay. And so it starts recording like, what is it, Queer Eye for the Straight Guy or
Oh,
whatever,
yeah.
and like all, like ice dancing and all the shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the move now. I mean, you could do, I'm telling you, that's gonna be the future. Get ready. Try to just get the most bang for your buck in whatever chip that you get. I'm just saying.
Now I'm wondering if we can actually pick the chip that you want, or if it's assigned to you.
Well, I
by
mean,
last name or social security number or zip code, or
because we live in a capitalist society, so it's all about competition, and you can probably choose different chips based off of what they're going to offer.
Communist society.
Communist?
Yeah.
No, China's communist.
No, I thought we were communist after Trump took over. No.
What? No.
Oh, okay.
Communism is like.
Well, he's compared to Hitler so much.
Well, that's fascist. Fascist is different. That's what they say.
Well, they always call us commies now.
Because Hitler hated communists.
Well,
that was.
Why is communist always thrown around?
Communists.
Are they
no? Because people no. So what it is people want to have like there's this all of a sudden this uptick in people that are pro-communism, because communism is everybody gets everything equal, but Trump isn't that.
But people call him a communist.
No, they call him a fascist.
They call him commie.
No, the people that don't like Trump are commies. You got to get woke, dude. You need to get more woke.
No,
you
need to get more woke. I think you got this shit reversed.
No, I'm telling you. Look it up.
Whatever, man. I'm voting for Hillary.
She can really do it this time.
I'm voting for Kamala, the Ugandan warrior.
Oh, the wrestler.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's dead.
Yeah. If the real Kamala don't put fucking stars on her titties and a moon on her stomach, I ain't vote for her. coming out with a tiki mask.
Didn't the wrestler Kamala? Didn't he like lose his feet?
He lost his legs.
Yeah. Oh, both of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had really bad diabetes.
I could see that. I met him once. Years.
Did he have legs?
He still had legs back then. This was many years ago.
I don't think I've ever seen him win a match, but he died like 2 days before Biden chose Kamala as his vice president.
Yeah.
And like that's all I think about, like, is the wrestler. And like I'm sure I'm not the only one, because Kamala was a big deal, like a big, you know, like my brother knows him. My brother was into wrestling when he was a kid, but like, you know, he doesn't know the knowledge that like say I or Sam know.
Right.
You know.
No, yeah, I've heard of Kamala. That was pretty big. Well, like I said, it was like a legendary, like from like the 80s.
Yeah.
But no, I remember I met Kamala. I was at a wrestling event. I was helping film, and I seen his feet, and they I mean, I'm not surprised he lost his legs, because they looked like they were rotting off.
Yeah.
They were.
Was he like all done up, or was he like just a normal dude, like when you saw him?
Oh no, he was all done up.
Okay.
Like it was during the match. I was outside the ring.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
There's a DVD out. There's a JCW DVD out there where it's just me outside the ring with the camera guy, and we were trying. I almost got hit in the head with a table. It might have been him that almost hit me in the head pulling the table out, because what ended up happening is the crowd was like, you have the barricades, but they're not like attached to anything on the ground. So slowly the barricades start closing in. So the space around the ring is even smaller. We're trying to film, but then they're also trying to get their tables and shit out from underneath. And then I literally felt as he swung it, I felt the breeze of it like graze my forehead, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna stand back for a while." That's a rough one. So
You're just knocked out outside the ring. They're like, who's this guy?
R.I.P. Kamala. Yeah, would it be crazy if, like, I know that the joke right now is just like Biden is kind of out of it. He's like not.
He gets chipped.
Like, well, yeah, he gets chipped. That's probably where. No. What I was gonna say is like he picks the wrong Kamala. Like if he did.
He's like, wait, I didn't want her.
No, I wanted the wrestler. That's who I wanted. And they go out.
Well, like Moose has that story of him like when he was in Detroit.
Yeah.
He comes out to Moose and like shakes his hand. He's like, "It's great to see you again." And Moose is like, "Who the fuck are you?" Like, I've never met you before.
That would have been great to get upstage, and then it's like this the current Kamala. He's like, "Wait, who are you?"
Right.
I'm expected. No, I want. Yeah,
I want the Ugandan warrior.
Yeah, that's what I want. I'm going up against Hogan, right? Am I?
He's a WWE Hall of Famer. I need one as well.
Yeah. Trump's a Hall of Famer. We got to have one. It'll be a hair versus hair match. Like all of a sudden, Biden gets up. He starts doing promos. He's like, he thinks he's Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh, USA, USA.
If he started doing that, I think
got a 2x4.
Yeah, that's how he shows up to the debate.
He's like, I'm a working man.
He's got.
Oh shit.
I bet he'd win the election if he did that.
I bet he would.
Trump wouldn't be able to stand a chance.
No. And then if he would be like, you know what, Trump, we're going to settle it in the middle of the ring, 1-on-1. Oh, man.
That's really, a lot of people, the speculation was the Samoa Joe project was building an army for Trump. No, the army was for Biden. He's going to lead this army of wrestlers.
I'm trying to tie in the mail-in voting somehow, but maybe that'll be their Thunderdome.
Yeah, maybe.
Their virtual fans.
Oh, God. But yeah, so if I leave you with anything today, just don't be afraid to get chipped. Just,
But we do also have a sponsor today.
Oh, yes.
So let me get to the sponsorship read. Today's episode is brought to you by Bees Muscle Tees.
Oh, nice.
Are you a gym rat who's trying to get your arms bigger? Or do you want the illusion that your arms are bigger? Check out Bee's Muscle Tees. Bee puts medium-sized sleeves on large and extra-large shirts to make your arms appear bigger. This technique has worked for Bee for years, and now he wants to share his secret with you. Check out thebeestees.com. Again, that's thebeestees.com. Use promotion code Bees Little Secrets for 20% off your first purchase.
Wow, man, this is nice.
Yeah, I think that's actually Bees branching out because he's got the vitamins.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
and now he's got the T-shirt.
I mean,
game.
that's a pretty smart. People are going to be scooping that up like crazy because now they don't have to worry so much about doing their arms. They can focus more on their chest and back.
Yeah, because their arms are going to appear bigger.
Yes, it's going to be perfect. They're going to be ripping like the sleeve if they flex. Dude, those are going to sell out like crazy. That right there, speaking of billionaires, that's a future billionaire we're looking at right there.
Billionaire B.
Yep.
So shout out to B. Thanks for sponsoring our show once again.
Yeah, that's perfect. But no, that's that's all I really had on the bill. We can revisit. This subject in more depth
because I'm assuming that for some reason we're going to probably have a Samoa Joe Project Part 2. Actually, you probably could call this episode Samoa Joe Part 2.
Nah, we didn't really get it. I mean, to be honest, I think you are onto something about the linking of it. See, I was really just going to talk about the COVID chips because that's how we're going to beat this thing.
That just sounds like potato chips.
Well, yeah, you got to give it a nice, attractive, fun name.
But imagine if Samoa Joe happens to come across our podcast.
Right.
That would be pretty interesting.
It would be. Well, he'd probably be like, God damn it, they're onto me.
Yeah.
They know. And he's, because really at the end of the day, his regenerative health abilities are what he's really wanting to keep a secret.
But he's only got 33 and a third chance of winning at sacrifice.
That is true. He's not, well, he is a genetic freak, but not to the same extent as Scott Steiner.
Right.
I mean, Scott Steiner, I believe, so here's a conspiracy that's been running around for a little bit. I don't know whether this is true or not. This is just, throwing it out there. But some say that Scott Steiner was the original source of what is now the Samoa Joe Project. It would have been like the Scott Steiner Project. It would have been the original thing.
That makes a little sense.
But they couldn't control him. Like he was uncontrollable. He was too much.
That's why they put the chain headdress on him.
Yeah.
Was to try to take some of his, shit out of his brain.
Yeah, they were trying to dumb him down. I mean, that's why. I mean, he's very good at mathematics and science. I mean,
he went to the University of Michigan.
He did, and he's almost like the Bruce Banner of wrestling. Okay, who happened to turn into the Hulk.
Yeah.
That's what ended up happening. But Vince couldn't get control of him. He ended up going to WCW, and then Bischoff tried to wrangle him, but he was just uncontrollable. They were like, you know what? We can't have this genetic freak. We can't use this one. But then Samoa Joe came in with his healing abilities, and they're like, there he is. Let's scoop him up. Let's scoop him up.
It's like that genetically made dinosaur in Jurassic Park.
Yes, that's what would have happened with Scott Steiner. He would have been the Indominus Rex if they would have fucking.
And
did it.
they needed the T-Rex and the Velociraptors to take care of it and that thing out of the water.
Yes, yeah, and then they didn't want to deal with that. With Samoa Joe, they know what they're gonna get. They're gonna get a very docile dinosaur. If it were a dinosaur, listen, there's a lot to unpack here. There's just so much. One day maybe I'll have to get all the files together.
We can see if Rusev can get us the files.
Rusev probably could. I mean, he's been doing taxes there for a while,
And he's no longer on screen.
He's not on screen no more. But maybe he's trying to. Maybe he knows too much and he doesn't feel comfortable being around that. He knows what the impending doom is that's going to be striking down. He knows that the billionaire chip war is going to take off. And he knows Vince's intentions to be able to use the Samoa Joe project to gain a lead in the chip war.
See, I just imagine this chip war like Risk.
What kind of
You roll the dice and try to take over a country.
Yeah, well, that's what's going to happen. But he's not taking over a country. He's literally taking over literal hearts and minds. Literal hearts and minds, because you're going to get a chip in both. Imagine you get the Bezos chip in your brain, but you get the Microsoft chip in the heart.
It's going to be hard to charge both of them at the same time.
Yeah, well, just chew on that one.
Oh, I'm chewing.
Chew on that one. Put that in your fucking pipe and smoke it.
Oh God, this episode.
Well, I think that just does that about does it.
This episode is pretty woke.
We really broke new ground here.
Yeah.
I'm glad we were able to get some of these guests out of the way.
Yeah.
So we can really get down to brass tacks.
And I'm just glad we were able to flex on the game a little bit today.
Yes, we were able to flex on it. No cap.
Yeah, no cap. Fuck every other podcast. We're flexing on all of them.
Yep. This podcast is on fleek right now.
On fleek. We're staying woke. We're keeping it 100.
Yeah. But yeah,
I think that's it.
that's all I got.
So, until next time, what you gonna do, brother? When the 64-bit legends team up with the Samoa Joe project and take over the entire world.